Hello, so I'm taking this portrait painting course. It's online, everything is remote these days, and the course consists of two short portrait painting sessions, so two different models, two sessions for each one of them. We work on the underpainting during the first session and then on the details on the second one. This is the first portrait finished. There was a profile, makes it kind of easier to start with, but that's the so-called finished version. The next one is a little bit different. It's this painting, and it's a 3/4 turn, more difficult to do. And the underpainting was done a couple of days ago, but I noticed the likeness with the model is not quite there. And this is the neat technique that I'm learning. I decided to try. Could be considered somewhat of a cheating, but I don't think so personally. So this is projecting the photo. We're working from a photo of a model. So projected the photo on my finished underpainting. The paint is dry already, and I'm checking the key proportions because small changes in proportions, the position of some key anchor elements, makes a big difference with likeness. And these key anchor points are the positions of the corners of the eyes and the relative position of that to the bottom of the nose, position of the lips, the width and the height. And you could actually check how well you did by measuring the plumb lines, the classical measuring techniques that you would use when working from a live model. When working from a photo, it's very easy to double check by just projecting. And I started using the pencil to kind of trace what I saw in the projection to my underpainting, but the pencil is not very visible, so I switched to a lighter chalk. And this is the result. So the key elements, I was actually quite pleased. The eyes are at the right place, the nose, the angle, everything is there. General proportions of the head is there, so I kind of cut off the top a little bit too much, so I need to add some hair, bring in the chin and the neck on this side and extend it to the other side. So that will help with the kind of the tilt of the head, so hopefully will help with the likeness. The biggest part was the mouth, so I was a little bit off with my vertical dimensions. So the lips were a little bit too low. They need to be brought up by the entire thickness of the upper lip. So that actually will help. Otherwise my face looked a little bit too narrow. This guy is more kind of square jawed. So that's some useful thing I'm playing with. It's a really neat technique. Why I don't think it's cheating, I was reading a book, a biography of Leonardo da Vinci, and there is a whole passage about how curious he was about the techniques that his fellow Renaissance painters used to achieve the likeness with the models and actually correct perspective when they painted the Florentine cityscapes. They used, for example, a see-through fabric that they would stretch on the window and then sketch with some light color what they saw on that fabric, then pin it to the actual canvas, trace the outline so that the perspective would be correct. Of course, Leonardo was way ahead of his time, and he reinvented or invented the many things that we take for granted right now about the perspective and the form. But nevertheless, they would stop at nothing. Whatever technology was available to achieve likeness and correct proportions, they would use it. So I think if projection was available to them, they would definitely use it. I'm lucky. I'm using this projector. It's an Artograph and has all sorts of inputs. I just stick the USB card with the with the JPEG images, project them. This one is it's a pretty powerful projector, so you could use it even in daylight, but still it's a little bit easier when it's dark outside, and you can just mount it on a tripod. One thing to make sure is that the canvas is vertical. The projector is the plane of the projection matches your canvas, otherwise you can get some distortion. But other than that, powerful technology. Makes it fun also to check how far off your classical measuring technique is when trying to draw from a live model.